Hello everybody, welcome to another video from my car, sitting in front of this little spot that I found here. It's a pretty nice little spot. It's just a little road off my regular commute. Let me show you my view. Look at that. Little lake, Lakeside Raceway's down there somewhere, up here in North Brisbane. That's a nice little spot. I love it. It's very calm, no traffic. I can do my recording in private. So buckle up because this video is going to take a while. So today I'm going to discuss a concept called, well, I've kind of given it a name, and I'm calling it the silent hustle. There's a lot of videos out there about hustle. Some people love the hustle life. They love being busy all the time, on the go, working, doing anything they can to improve their situation, be successful, doing whatever they can to make more money, and that's awesome. But behind all that, there's this little element that I think is often forgotten about, and it's not really discussed, and that is the silent hustle. So I'm going to explain kind of what I mean by that. So back in, well, I don't know, I say the year, but it was a long time ago, 1998. I was at university, and as you know, for my family, I moved out of home and moved in with my friends early on, and I lived on the social benefits here in Australia, the Centrelink payments. Actually, it wasn't Centrelink, it's run through Centrelink, but it was called Austudy. So the payments were called Austudy, and it was a supplement that you were paid to while you're studying, to support your studies while you're at university. And I ended up using that to pay my rent and buy food and do all sorts of things. I still went home on the weekend to my parents. I caught the train. I didn't have a car. A great time of my life. Really enjoyed it. Had a great time. But the important part, and the reason I bring it up, is because I survived on, I can't even remember, I distinctly remember it was less than $200 for a week. So it was about $190, and then there was like a rental supplement that helps with your rental costs and stuff like that. So it was not a lot of money. At the time, it was like enough to pay rent, pay my travel fees to get to uni, and to buy food. Now, food wasn't, when I say food, it was barely enough for food. And I remember living on frozen pizzas from the shops that were, at the time, I think they were $3, and getting the, there's a lot of pizza actually, if now I think about it. We had pizza a lot, but you know, we survived on very basic things, and we hardly ever gave ourselves any funds to really spend on more, you know, luxury and expensive items. Obviously, the years went past. I lived in different situations with different friends, and I never went back home. I always lived away from home. And one thing that occurred to me is, as soon as I finished my studies and I got some money, I got a decent wage. What did I start doing? And this is the thing where I think people like don't think about, and it's living by your means. And when your means improve, I mean, you're getting significantly more of an income. And as I was being a teacher here in Australia, it's not a bad gig actually, for those of you looking for a career. So I went out, and I remember buying my first DVD player. It was a big deal. My first widescreen TV. It was still one of those thick old school TVs. It wasn't a thin TV at all. It was just that was the times. But it was a widescreen format, and that was pretty amazing. I lived on my own, which was great after having shared house with so many people over the years. But the thing that I started spending some money on, and it's continued to this day, pretty much until recently, I suppose, but to this day, is those little incidental costs that you don't think about. So what I mean by that is purchases such as drinks and snacks, and these are fairly big items in my life that I have continually, just in the background, just kept buying these drinks and snacks. On top of that, you start to make decisions where you lean towards the more expensive side of things, and so it definitely is something that is not often thought about, I suppose, because when you have money at your disposal, and which we do at the moment, and we have for quite some time now, you don't really think about it too much. But really, it's something that does need to be thought about. And let me explain. I'll give you a couple of examples of what I mean. Stopping at a petrol station, you're there to get petrol. Okay, but when you get petrol, I don't know, whatever, $60, $70, $100, whatever, $120 these days to fuel up your tank, you walk into the shop and what do you see in front of you? There are drinks, snacks, whatever. You're catered for in every petrol station these days. It's all in front of you. It's very clever. You're going to be spending $100. What's another $2, $3, $4 for a can of drink? Okay, a can of soft drink, or to buy a small chocolate bar, or to get some mints or gums or something like that. This, for me, has been ongoing for quite some time. So I'm spending those extra little dollars here and there. Another example is, let's say I'm walking along my local shopping mall. There's a Westfield here not far from where I live. And in the mall, you're walking between shops and there's a sushi bar. Okay, so sushi bars, amazing. I love sushi. But again, I'm not at the, it's not lunchtime. I've probably eaten not long ago. I'm not super hungry, but I see that sushi there and I love sushi. And for, $3.80, $4.20, whatever they are these days, for one of those rolls, sushi rolls, you just buy it. You've got the money. The money's not a problem. You're just going to buy it. So another example is we go to a restaurant and there's a restaurant that we frequent quite often and we really enjoy going to it. It's quite on the cheaper side, really. But main meals are sort of between $11, $10.90, $11, up to about $15. When I look at the menu, I don't even look at the price anymore. I'm super lucky to be in this position, but I don't look at the price anymore of this restaurant because I know it's a budget end restaurant. So I just buy whatever I want. So instead of choosing an $11 meal, I might choose a $16 meal or $17 meal. I might have a drink on the side, which is another $3, $4. I might have a side dish on the side as well, or like an entree. And very quickly it becomes rather a lot more money. So here's the thing about these situations. For me to think about my side hustles at the moment and what it takes for my, not really very successful, but my side hustles to make an extra $10, $20 a day, it's not that successful, okay? Sometimes it's a bit of a push to try to get that extra little money from a side hustle. So another way to think about it is like hustling on your mortgage. So if you put an extra $1,000 onto your mortgage, give or take a little bit here and there, that's about a $1 repayment per week. So $1,000 extra on your loan reduces your loan by $1 a week, roughly, for every $1,000. When I spend, let's say $4 on a soft drink at the petrol station, that's $4,000 that I need to have in the bank, reducing the interest on the mortgage for that one drink per week. So if I do that 3 times a week, I need to have $12,000 in the bank to make $12 of interest, like better off on the interest. And that's the equivalent of buying one soft drink at a petrol station 3 times a week. Okay, so let's revisit those 3 scenarios and let's look at it from a silent hustle point of view. So the silent hustle concept is about making a decision, a silent decision to not spend your money on these items because you are trying to do something else more positive with that money. It really makes you appreciate these little dollar value things here and there. In particular, with how much money you need in the bank to be able to afford these, just in terms of reducing your mortgage repayments. So let's look at the first example, petrol station. So what I've been doing is I walk into the petrol station to pay for my fuel, and I have to have an active thought to not purchase anything. Okay, so I just don't buy anything. Wow, it's earth-shattering, isn't it? So what it takes is a whole lot of self-control, impulse control, and really thinking carefully about, do I really need this right now? Am I dehydrated? Do I really need this drink? Why am I buying this drink right now? Is it to get a little hit of sugar? I don't know. Have I had a coffee this morning already? Do I need another coffee or a breaker? I don't know if you have breakers in America. I don't know. So at the shopping mall, that was a relatively easier one because you're walking between shops, but still it has happened in the past where I just stop and buy a quick snack. So it's just walking past and saying, I'm not here for food right now. I'm here to do my shopping, and I'm not here for sushi. I didn't come for sushi. It wasn't part of any plans. I don't need it. So walking past. And then finally at the restaurant that we visit, the little Asian restaurant, my friends will know what it is, that we visit, on a fairly regular basis. It's choosing the special. They have an all-day special there that is $11, like I said before, and that includes a drink. So you get a drink and one of the menu items that's, not a bad little menu item, and it's only $11. And then, here's the tricky bit, you go to the fridge to buy a drink because, we've been riding our motorbikes and it's time to buy a drink. And it's about choosing a can of drink rather than the buddy of drink. Right? Do I really need a whole 600 ml Pepsi Max? No, I'm fine with a can. And I know it's not much more expensive, but I don't need any more. I'm not here for value or anything like that. I just need a drink. So I make use of these little things now and again. This is super hard to do because your brain, your subconscious, even your conscious says to you, you've earned this money, you worked hard for it, it's time to treat yourself. It's time to reward yourself. And the thing is, I already reward myself plenty. Don't worry about that. Do I really need this extra thing? Okay. And so that I've called this the silent hustle because it takes effort. It really does. It takes effort to do. Today, I just dropped my kids off at school. On the way back from school, I go past the 7-Eleven and I know what they've got in there. And I almost stopped because I feel a little bit thirsty and I need a drink. So I'm just going to stop and buy myself a $4 can of energy drink that I really like, right? $4, $4.50, something like that. I've been really good recently and I have fought that urge and I just go home and have a cup of coffee or I have a drink, or I've been really enjoying having like a Barocca or a Boost, which is kind of, it's a little bit fizzy and it's got a little bit soft drink sort of like, and it's good for you. And I've been enjoying that as an alternative. So there's still alternatives out there that, you can still reward yourself. You can still get the thing that you need or want, but just not quite at that cost. So another one, and they seem to be related to, being in transit, like either walking between places or using a car, is a coffee. There's a coffee van down the road from us, and I could stop in the morning and grab a coffee and pay, $5 for a medium coffee. That's how much they are these days here in Australia. And no, I don't do that. I have found a little pre-pack coffee thing called G7 that I really, really like the flavor of, and I kind of much prefer it over the coffee that you get from the shops. It's just a very unique flavor and I really like it. One of those G7 packets cost, I think, 24 cents. I think I paid last time, 24 cents or 26 cents for one of those packets, versus coffee's $5 for, it's a huge difference in cost. Now, so one person that used to do a lot of videos about this was Stephan. If you're watching, Graham, hello, I love your videos, buddy. Thank you for putting me on the path. So Graham talked a lot about how he makes his coffee in the morning and how he used to eat frozen meals for dinner, and I'm not sure how other people took that, but that for me was really motivating in terms of thinking about these little micro expenditures that do add up really easily and really quickly. I think people just say, I deserve it. I have worked hard for it. I'm treating myself. It's only a small amount of dollars. Everything's, no one's going to be bothered by this. And they justify it to themselves. Just recently, over the sort of last 4 or 5 weeks, I've really started looking at the way I'm doing this. And I am guilty of just spending whenever I want. It's not good. And the reason I'm calling it the silent hustle is because if you are on the hustle and you're trying to do things and make things happen for yourself, you need access to all the money you can. Like if you buy a $5 coffee every day, that's $30. Now $30 is, I know it doesn't seem like a lot of money, but $30 is $30 that you now have to, do more marketing or spend towards something towards your business, and that's just one coffee a day. If you keep making these decisions, it really does add up super quickly. Now, another person, a somewhat controversial person that is in the media at the moment, Andrew Tate. Hi, Andrew. So Andrew has this story that he tells about steak and food not meaning anything to rich people. And that really hit a note with me. In a nutshell, what he says is that when you're poor, food means a lot to you, because if you ever have money for some better food, it's you really appreciate it, and it's like amazing that you get access to this sort of food when you're living on crap food. A little bit like the way it was at uni for me. However, now that he's rich, like super rich, food doesn't mean anything to him. He can have steak every day. He can go to the most expensive steakhouse, and it's still just a drop in the ocean for him in terms of spending money on steak. And again, it's thought provoking, isn't it? Like, I have access to money now. Am I making choices to live by my means? Like, I can afford to go and eat out every night, no problems. But at the end of the fortnight of my paycheck, I'd have nothing left. Or I can make smart decisions, think about what I'm doing, still enjoy food. I can still enjoy food, stuff that I make at home, and I don't need to eat out. And there's no point, okay? So I'm chasing foods that are nice tasting, not expensive. All right, everyone, so there you have it. A long-winded way of saying, think about what you're spending your money on, and just really dig deep and have a bit of a think about, am I treating myself too much? Am I treating myself too frequently? Am I dismissing these small amounts of dollars that really could be going towards lots and lots of other things? So that's it, everyone. Like I said, long video. If you've stayed to the end, thank you. If you haven't already subscribed, please do. Button's down there somewhere. I think it's over on this side. And let me know what you think about this concept, this silent hustle in your head that's going on the whole time, and what it means for your finances. Write it below. Have your say. I always like to hear from you guys. Anyway, that's it for now. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.